On a frozen February night in 1959, 9 young hikers vanished deep in the Ural Mountains of Russia. They were strong, experienced, and determined, led by a brilliant engineering student named Igor Dyatlov. Their goal was ambitious: reach the remote Otorten Mountain during one of the harshest winters the region had ever seen. But they never made it. Weeks later, rescuers discovered their abandoned campsite, and the scene looked like the opening of a horror movie. The tent was slashed open from the inside. The hikers had fled barefoot into a deadly blizzard. Some bodies were found half-naked in the snow. Others showed mysterious injuries: broken ribs, crushed skulls, even radiation on their clothes. To this day, nobody can fully explain what happened. A military cover-up? A secret weapon test? The Yeti? An avalanche? Or something even stranger? Tonight, we explore the infamous mystery known as the Dyatlov Pass Incident. The group of 9 consisted of skilled students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. They were young, passionate about adventure, and familiar with extreme cold. Their expedition diaries revealed excitement, jokes, and optimism. Nothing suggested danger. On January 23, 1959, they boarded a train, then a truck, then skied for days into pure wilderness. Snowstorms hit, temperatures dropped below -30 degrees Celsius, but the group pushed forward. However, on February 1st, something unexpected happened. The hikers set up camp on the slope of Kolatsiakl, known by the local Mansi people as the Mountain of the Dead. Why they stopped on an exposed slope instead of a safer forest area is one of the first mysteries. The next morning, no one would ever hear from them again. When the hikers failed to return, search teams were sent out. After days of flying over the mountains, a pilot spotted a dark shape against the snow. The tent. But nothing about it made sense. It was half-collapsed, partially buried, and cut open from the inside. The hikers' boots, jackets, and equipment were still neatly arranged. It looked as if the group had calmly prepared for sleep, and then suddenly ran for their lives. 9 sets of footprints led downhill into the darkness, some barefoot, some wearing only socks. What could terrorize 9 trained adults so much that they would run out into a deadly blizzard without their clothing? The first 2 bodies were found under a cedar tree, almost 1.5 kilometers from the tent. They were barefoot, wearing only underwear. Branches above them were broken, suggesting they desperately climbed the tree, possibly trying to see something or escape something. 3 more bodies were found between the tree and the tent, as if they were trying to return but collapsed in the snow. But this was only half the tragedy. 2 months later, when the snow melted, searchers found the remaining 4 hikers in a ravine. And what they saw shocked even seasoned investigators. The last 4 bodies showed injuries that made no logical sense. One hiker had a crushed chest, as if hit by a massive force. Another had a severely fractured skull, yet no external wounds. One woman's eyes were missing, another's tongue had disappeared. Some of their clothes contained traces of radiation. The Soviet pathologist said the forces involved were comparable to a car crash, not a fall. But how could this happen, with no signs of struggle, and no other footprints? Investigators quietly closed the case with a vague explanation: a compelling natural force. Naturally, nobody bought it. For over 60 years, dozens of theories have emerged. Some are rational, others are pure nightmare fuel. 1. Avalanche theory. Some believe a delayed slab avalanche forced the hikers to escape urgently, but the slope is too shallow, and their tent had remained partially standing. 2. Katabatic winds. These fast, violent winds could cause extreme panic and disorientation, but not crushing injuries. 3. Military missile or weapon test. The area was near secret Soviet test sites. Bright orange fireballs were reported that night. Radiation on clothing supports this theory, but there were no signs of explosions. 4. Infrasound fear effect. Low-frequency sound waves can trigger panic, hallucinations, and a feeling of doom. Interesting, but does not explain broken bones. 5. Mansi tribe attack. No evidence of struggle, no footprints, and the Mansi were known to be peaceful. 6. The Yeti or unknown creature. A popular theory online, but absolutely no physical evidence. 7. Secret military encounter or KGB operation. Some believe the hikers witnessed something they weren't supposed to see, but again, no official documents survived. 8. A combination of factors: cold, darkness, acoustic terror, hypothermia, disorientation, falls into ravines. Maybe the truth is not one thing, but many. In 2020, Russian authorities reopened the case. Their final conclusion? A slab avalanche combined with hypothermia and injuries from the fall into the ravine. But many experts disagree. Satellite images show the slope is too stable. Weather data contradicts an avalanche, and the injuries resemble blunt force trauma more than snow pressure. Modern researchers propose a new idea: a strange chain reaction involving nighttime wind, snow movement, psychological panic, and pitch-black confusion. A deadly cocktail, but still not a full answer. The Dyatlov Pass remains one of the coldest mysteries on Earth, literally and figuratively. We may never know what truly happened that night in 1959. But the footprints left on that frozen slope remind us of something powerful. Mysteries don't always fade with time. Some grow colder, deeper, and even more haunting. The Dyatlov hikers set out seeking adventure and became part of one of the greatest unsolved cases in modern history. If you want more deep dives into unexplained events, time travel theories, strange scientific mysteries, or missing 411 cases, subscribe and join me in the next story. Until then, stay curious.